But the sounds... Welcome to very likely a pretty massive video, and I'm gonna do it badly. If I did this video correctly, in my typical, this is kind of like an online manual, I show you everything and how to do everything, it's impossible. Because Blue Cat Audio, Axiom, from Le France, have released the second version, V2, both of them say 2, V2, version 2 of Axiom. Axiom version 2. Axiom was fully featured and ridiculous and complex to begin with, and now there's more. Now, there's also easy modes, which is what we're going to focus on a lot because it's really all you need. But holy shit, you can do literally anything, and then some, and then some, and then some. Now, it is not your typical amp simulator, where the amps look like the original amps. They look like the maybe 5%, and that's all you need. But then there's the pre-version of the amp, and then the destructive version of the amp, and then the post version of the amp. I don't even know how to increase gain. I'm a little bit lost. It is highly recommended to do a right-click and go to Read Manual. You really should. I didn't. And you're going to see that in this video. But you don't have to. And that's also what you see in this video with easy mode. The software is, I'm going to call it open source, and that is a wrong term. The software allows you to use other software within it. So imagine there's a pedal board in front of your amp. And you can load effects into this pedal board. That makes sense, right? Effects from Axiom. And they're good. And they look stompy and simple. You can load any VST effect into that pedal board. That's crazy. Or AX or whatever software you're in. Then there's your whole amp. And there isn't the typical, here's your cab. Cabs are kind of different. They're not really mentioned bigly, but they're there. Can you load IRs? I don't even know. Do you need to? Fuck no. Because Axiom sounds fantastic right out of the box. Don't fiddle with perfection. It's really that good. Then there's your post pedal board. And you can put EQs and compressions and delays and reverbs, anything you want into this pedal board. But then again, you can load in other people's things. And that's kind of your guitar setup. But then studio style, there's a pre-section to all of this and a post-section to all of this. And yet again, you can load anything into that and also other people's. It's complex, to say the least. Then you open up the delay. You just open up, you know, a little delay. That's easy. But then you can open up late replies. I've done a video on late replies, and you can spend 3 weeks in there, because that's a delay where each of the actual taps can be run through another VST plugin. Do you want to change the pickups of your guitar to sounding like a single coil, even though you're playing humbuckers? That's built in. You want to play through it with a bass? Yes, you can. Now you can fully play through it with acoustic guitars and make them sound great with acoustic plugins. You can also make your electric sound like an acoustic pretty damn convincingly. You could run through it with an electric and an acoustic, because yes, it has A and B chains, and you can really run it in dual mode. It's freaking impossible to show this, even if I made 4 or 5 videos. It's not going to happen. I'm going to show you the interface right now. This is the new easy interface. And that's pretty straightforward. This is one preset out of... I'm going to go to factory presets. This is bass. You can't even... I'm going to pull this over. Bass. More bass. Even more bass. Clean. These are only clean guitars. Clean guitars with effects. Crunch and effects. Drive and effects. Effects. High gain effects. Legends, which is loads of different songs and guitar players, which is a good starting point, actually. Piezo, beautiful. Re-guitaring. So I went to the default rig. The default rig is not a sound. It is, as it says, a rig. Again, yet we're in easy mode. I'm going to confuse you by going into complex mode, and then you're going to go, please go back to easy mode. Here we have a tuner. I'm going to turn that off. You could also mute it. It works really damn well. Manuel? Damn well. Damn well Lopez. I don't know. It's great. Then we have the amp, which looks pretty damn simple. We can say that's kind of something boxy, maybe. Again, I don't understand how to get more drive, because when you increase drive, Guillaume's going to have to explain that to me. You can go to edit, and then we see that then this is another window that pops up, and this is Destructor, which is their amp modeling software. There's a gate, there's a compressor, pretty prominent here, but then you can already see there's a preamp section, a destruction section, and a post filter. Now the post filter, see it like a guitar cab, but maybe not. I don't quite even understand exactly what it is. Yes, it's a cab, but it can also be seen as an EQ, because yet again I can click on edit the post filter. Okay? So let's look at the destruction section. I can edit that. And you can fully, this is where it just goes way too far and way too nerdy, fully change the clipping and the shape. This is, look at the symmetric drive range. I mean, this is where Axiom is very different. It's not, it's amp modeling, but it's not, it's simple, but it's not. It's, you can go craft your completely own things, and then now in this new version, put your own skins on it, your own knobs on it, and make it your own. Build your own rig, your own amp, and everything. So instead of saying I have an IR here, or I have a profile of an amp, no, I'm actually changing the math, if you so will, which I really like, because that's not just cloning something that someone has digitally and then giving you a snapshot of it. No, this is working with what you're giving it in. And here, this is pretty much that cab and the frequency response of that cab. So instead of an IR, it's building this. So if you like this, whatever this is, go to guitar cab here, 212 AC silver, okay? That's what it would look like, and you can tweak that cab a bit. But now you can actually really go and tweak that cab, because it isn't a cab. A cab is really just taking a sound and shaping it with an EQ, kind of, and then a room and all these things. But we're already way too far into it. And this is the pre-section. Don't go into Destructor or you lose yourself. Easy mode. You now have this amp, which of course has a cab connected to it. Here we have Magnum macro controls. EQ boost, wah sensitivity, vibrate, drive, blah, 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 blah. These are editable. Of course, each of those macro controls doesn't just control one parameter, it can literally control a bunch of them from here to there. Of course, anything can be controlled with MIDI. Obviously, these stompies right here could be on a pedal board right in front of you. If you had like an air step, for example, from Exonic, even do this with Bluetooth wirelessly and play this puppy with your laptop live, as Guillaume does all the time. Guillaume is the one-man magic behind this thing. I don't even know how the guy sleeps. Sleeps? I don't know how he sleeps. I can control basic things here, and I'm going to show you how. And I can turn them on and off, obviously. So this is pretty standard and simple. This is easy mode. Now, I'm going to go into not so easy mode, and Leslie can blow that up so we see the rest of it. Yeah, this is what it actually looks like. And when we look at it, we have re-guitar, which I can turn on and off. And that's in the input section. A micro EQ, it's in the input section. Then we have the pre-effects, and you can see these are actually colored, which is kind of nice, so you see what happens there. And I can turn them on and off. And they're stylized. They're not looking like an actual pedal, they're stylized. Of course, if you click on the little edit up here, you see, if I make it bigger, everything has individual size controls. Everything, by the way, in itself has presets. So there's presets for the whole rig. There's presets for just the cab. There's presets for the pre-section, the post section. There's presets for each individual element. So let's say I have a vibe here. That's the notch vibe. Factory presets. Here are presets for the different vibes. Make sense? Makes sense. So turn the vibe off again. Hey, here. Overdrive, crunch processor. What is that? Blue Cat's Destructor. It's a drive pedal. Okay. Then we have the amp, and then here's the post section where we have a chorus. Let's look at that. Look, it's a chorus with all these different parameters, which can be controlled with macro, with MIDI, with your ding-a-ling if you want to. I mean, here's a phaser. Now, what if I really like my delay from Native Instruments, the replica? Well, first you have to find it. But once you find it, check this out. Here is now my replica running within Axiom. And you have the interface as well, which now doesn't really open up correctly anymore. Come on. Nope. It first did, and now it doesn't. Well, technically it should. So that is, of course, completely insane, right? I'm going to go back and forth and kill that again. We have a tape echo here. This is all stuff, of course, within. Then we've got post effects. Here's a looper. It's got a fully built-in looper. It also has the ability to just, I don't know how, I read it, to drag in an audio file and jam along with it and record along with it and just spit out an audio file. Probably not within Cubase, I assume, but very likely in the standalone version. Drag in an audio file, jam along, record, done. Nice. Post EQ. I know why we need this. Stereo spread. Stereo. There was an issue previously where I went in mono, but I wanted to go out stereo. So if I had it on a stereo input in Cubase, that was an issue. Well, now we've got this little I/O thing up here. And I can say stereo to in to out, mono to stereo, or mono in, mono out. So I went mono to stereo. I'm going in one side, but it actually gives me my guitar signal on both sides. So that's a major improvement. Now check out this magic. So it's now blocking quite a bit of my Cubase window, right? Well, check this out. An opacity, which is a big place for old people. Opacity. That sounds like a retirement home. Opacity. Opacity, obviously. You can change the opacity so that you can still see what's happening. And I can see right now that my voice is being recorded. That is a really cool thing. Obviously, this is one rig among, I don't know, a billion. Legends, Highway to Rock. Well, I went to the most simple one possible. It's ridiculous. And you've got A and B. So everything is actually, you can switch between two completely different setups right there, or play through them in stereo, or whatever you want. Each preset comes with an A and a B version. Default rig. That's what we want. Now, the easy is the way to go. In complex mode, there are little things you can do, like up here, show you all the different parameters so you don't have to open this up. You can see all the parameters underneath. So I click on this. See, you can actually see all the parameters of what's happening. And the same thing for underneath here. I want to see all my parameters of the delay. I can see them right there without actually going into another window. Do you see this? This is all the stuff that's new, that I'm supposed to tell you about. That's not possible. New 3D HD graphics, new rack designer to build your own amps and pedals, quickly select knobs, background, faceplates. Oh, okay, fine. If you don't like these knobs right here, change them. Oh wait, if you don't like these knobs, why would you need this? Flat blue, okay? Modern style. You want to have chicken head, white. They are chicken heads. I don't know why, but you can. This guy needs to freaking get a hobby. I know that is his life and hobby, and you can, of course, turn the levels off to the left and right. It's completely bonkers what's possible. Let me go back to my email. So you can completely build your own amps and give them your own styles, specific colors for each pedal, macro controls, direct-to-disc recording and playback. I already told you this. Improved DSP engine, blah, 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 blah. Loads of things have been rebuilt from scratch in terms of high gain tones. Acoustic, we're going to cover that. Improved MIDI control. It is impossible to show you everything. Case in point, default rig. STS guitars. The default tone. Wait, it's not correct because the vibe is on. That is already absolutely beautiful. It feels great. It reacts amazingly. Latency is totally fine the way I'm running it right now. So I'm gonna click re-guitar. So I just enabled a single coil. Let me show you. For that, I'll go in here, turn this on, and right here we have re-guitar. And so on. You can change the sound of your guitar quite drastically. I'm going to turn that off and back to easy. Micro EQ. Comp is on. We're going to leave that on. Ottawa. it sounds fantastic. Here's the vibe, which is great, and I reviewed it by itself. This is where it comes in. Once you click in this overdrive, you're like, wait a second. This is damn good. I mean, listen. So I can now go and tweak my overdrive. If I want more control, I'm going to go into my overdrive, and then I've got tone and all that stuff right there. Turn that off. Crunch presser. Tape echo is already on, and fantastic, and stereo and reverb. So you can tell that just with the basic rig, the default rig, you have an amp and a full pedal board at your disposal that you can tweak any way you want. That makes it a little bit rounder by taking the high mids out. So that again is just one of the rigs. You could put this all at your feet. I mean, all the switchies, all the clickies, with a MIDI foot controller, and literally just go on stage with that. The one thing I haven't figured out is drive. Because there's a compressor attached to Destructor, it also then, of course, now pushes the compressor quite a bit harder. The sounds, this is just one of them, are fantastic. Now, if you need it to look like a Soldano, go away. If you want this to be the super sexy, stylish neural interface, this isn't, sorry Guillaume, this isn't hyper sexy. This has to function with a myriad of possibilities. So the interface works. It's not Nespresso Clooney, if you know what I mean. It's not like, whoa. It's not haute couture. It's functional. But the sounds... I don't know why, but there's one single preset called John Brown. And when you go to it, this is what happens. And you need fuck all after this. You want to do metal? Don't even fiddle in any way. This is not a metal guitar. But you want to know? Fine. If you want to know. John Brown Mayonnaise signature. This is by far one of the most brutal guitars I know, one of the most precise guitars that I know. And that combination means you need to fucking be able to play. But even with a hollow body, like this STS, sustainably sourced, it delivers. So, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Let's do clean and effects. Clean and area echoes. So we see there's a simple amp, looks like a tremolo, drive and reverb length, and then a couple of foot switches. So I can turn the tremolo on. It's very self-explanatory. I love a tuner that freaking just works. Crunch and effects. British sounds have a very spiky upper mid thing going that I'm not super happy with, to be honest. I love a filter like this, but of course, let's go to a traditional no effect shit. Again, those golden amps, they're the one thing that don't really floor me. This is definitely focused much more on guitar sounds that are tried and true versus guitar rig, which is good, taking us into sound design mayhem. You can do that here, but it's of course aimed more towards the traditional guitar sounds. Says the guy and then plays this. I love how it feels. This is really the important thing. As someone who plays real tube amps all day long, well, not all day long, but who has, I've seen a tube amp, okay? It delivers. This is important. Acoustic Simulator. When you're playing in a top 40 band where this is killer. Pretty stunning transformation. So Legends. That's where some cool stuff is. But I don't know how you play this. Play this. Maybe I should learn this. Great sound. And I like these Legends as a baseline to start your presets. Because I can go and say, I like this, open this up, and then build your own in this interface right here. Now let's see, you can do whatever you want. It's not going to get big enough. There's too much stuff here. Okay, I'm going to go back. Where was I? I'm sorry, I'm fiddling around here. This is the sound from the intro noodle. Damn, is it good. Email in a bottle. How does this go? That's how you play that. Very impressive. And if you want to look under the hood, all you do is uneasify that. There's a chorus, there's a reverb, there's that amp, there's something input. Actually, not that much stuff happening. We've got, of course, AB here. We can turn B on and now mix. And you can pan one to the left and one to the right. That's crazy dual rigging. You see, there's no way to show you all this. So now the things will not look as sexy as some other plugins, but boy, are the sounds there. Something along those lines. Massive compression and that beautiful, it's a song from some band. Very scratchy Brits. I don't know why. Of course, you don't have to. Oh, that's a cool reverb. You don't have to do that. Where do we have the metal stuff? And we already had John Brown. That's really all you need. the problem is you don't really know when to stop. You just play and play, and let's just find some more. And just with the built-in effects, which is really the ridiculous thing. Let's look at this for a second here. Select built-in delay. Those are the built-in delays. Don't go to late replies. You will never get out of it. Multi-tap delay. Built-in distortion. There's a billion. Dynamics. EQs and filters. Built-in... frequency phase shifter, pitch bender, re-guitar. We already covered that. Built-in fuzzes. Nobody needs that. Built-in modulation. A billion of them. Reverbs. What the crap? Utilities. Looper, level, gain, mute, re-guitar. And then you can load any VST you want. So here's the thing. It is impossible to show you all of this. However, I don't find it as information overloady as Amplitude, for example. Because here you go to easy and you really just build yourself this amp with some of your favorite effects, never really look behind the curtain. And then build yourself another amp with a couple of your favorite effects. And those could be really your clean setup, your overdrive setup, and your metal setup. And those are the 3 presets you use, plus some of the stompies and stuff like this. So, in the end, I think the sounds are the reward. And the sounds here are way more guitar-y and real and touch sensitive and volume sensitive, for example, compared to Guitar Rig. I love Guitar Rig for its out-of-the-box thinking and synth attitude and taking guitar further. This can, but that's not the idea. The idea here is rigs, actual guitar rigs. Just not called Guitar Rig, it's called Axiom. That's what Axiom does. Learning curve, I would say quite a bit, but worth it. This could be your one-stop shop to any sound you ever need. Have you heard that John Brown sound? Holy fuckola. And also, it doesn't break the bank. Very, very clearly. Take some time with it. Read the manual, learn what everything does, so that you can build your own amps. You can see, you could see, we can change the Tolexes and the knobs and everything. You can build your own stuff. There is so much more that I have not even shown you, like the internal recording and a billion things that Guillaume asked me to show you, but we're already sitting here for an hour and a half, and I don't know how long. It's not possible. Go get yourself the demo version, which I'm sure they have, and play around with it. Feel it under your fingers, and then you're convinced. From the first moment, I was like, what? Yeah. The price is also not ridiculous. And this is not a big corporation. This is one guy with a dream. This is one guy who's extremely intelligent. This is one guy who knows his shit and puts it all in a plugin for you right there. Support that one guy. He deserves it. I'll put links below to Blue Cat Audio's website. He, of course, asked me to make this video and is compensating me for that. Thank you. But, you know, my opinions are my own, all that stuff. So links below. Thank you so much. And animals at the end.